practice?
Enough to feel good about myself.
That'll do it.
Jaylen, your first 2 NBA summers, how important was kind of refining your shooting stroke, and how nice is it to see the payoff come in the form of really strong playoff performances?
It feels good. You know, I want it to continue to feel good, though. We're still playing, so I just want to keep helping my team, and shooting the ball well. It's helping us. I want to continue to do that.
What's the mindset of the team heading back here now, back home for Game 5?
Got to protect home court. Got to protect our house. Can't let nobody come in and get comfortable. Those guys they felt comfortable the last 2 games. Up until those last 2 quarters, we kind of made them uncomfortable, and that's how we want to continue to play.
Did you feel you guys figured some stuff out in the 3rd and 4th quarter of that game that can carry over for the rest of the series?
I definitely think so. I definitely think we found the level of comfort in playing that in that intensity, being physical, also setting tough screens, you know, just owning our own space. Coach talks about owning our own space. I think we did that in the last 2 quarters.
You talk about a level of comfort in the intensity. Was it different in Milwaukee than it was in like Game 2 for you guys?
Definitely. You know, playing in front of your home crowd, you know, they can almost be like the best 6-man in the league. So, especially being in Boston. So when you're playing in front of their home crowd, they probably feel the same way. So when we came out to their intensity, their crowd kind of can affect the game and things like that. And especially as a group that hasn't been playing together for an extensive amount of time just for this year and with the injuries and stuff. So it definitely probably had an effect. The intensity level of the game raised, especially from Game 1 to Game 2 to Game 3 to Game 4. And we talked about an expectance of that, but it's different when you actually get to see it on a road game in the playoffs, and it's a lot different. So I think we're now accustomed to it and we're ready to fight.
With all the block shots that they've had, are there things that you guys can do to get them out of position, or is it just a matter of taking it to them with more force and fighting through those blocks? How do you guys mitigate that?
A little bit of both. So we watched it on film, and we need to play off 2 feet more instead of off 1, and use our jump stops and things like that to be more effective, because they are flying. They're really athletic, they're really long, and they're good. So we have to be a little bit smarter.
Brad Stevens said he was encouraged by what he saw on film from the Celtics team. How much is it just paying attention to the little details?
That's what it is. It's all details. It becomes a game of inches now. We've played this team, 3 or 4 times in the regular season. Now it's Game 5 in the playoffs. So we both know the film, we both know what each team wants to do and what we want to get out of it. Now it's a matter of a mentality and who's going to come out on top.
Jaylen, he also said that once you go through a playoff series and a playoff run, you grow leaps and bounds from the first time to the second time. You're obviously in your second time. Where do you think that you've grown the most, just in terms of being able to get through a series and make the necessary adjustments, all that type of stuff?
Just being in the atmosphere. I don't think I've ever played, up until last year, my rookie year, I never played in that type of atmosphere at home or away. An atmosphere with such elite level talent, and then with the atmosphere of the crowd and the intensity and the media, the pressure of the game and things like that. So last year was kind of eye-opening to me, and this year I was a lot more prepared for it.
How different is Jayson starting and playing 30-plus minutes again? How different is his situation than what you went through last year as a rookie?
I mean, he's a lot more ahead of the curve, you know. He's had great opportunity and he's done well with it. Yesterday he really came out and played really well, and we're going to continue to need him to do that if we're going to win this series and the next series coming after that. So he's ahead of the curve, I'll say that for sure. Jayson's been incredible, and his learning curve has been expedited, you know, with people being out and people being hurt and things like that before. He's one hell of a rookie, though.
In a series like this that it turns into a best of 3, how much do you really feel the pressure and intensity building?
It's a best of 3, but it's one game at a time. That's how I look at it. Game 5, that's all I'm really worried about. So we just come out and just play as if it's Game 1. You know, just come out, be relaxed. You know, also have the same level of intensity that we brought to end the Game 4 and Game 1 and Game 2, and see where that takes us.
With Marcus getting closer and closer, how excited are you guys to get him back in the fold?
Extremely excited. You know, Marcus does, his whole brand is YGC, Young Game Changer, so he changes the game anytime he gets in there on offense and in defense. So he's definitely missed, and when he's back, he'll be welcome with open arms, because he makes a lot of our jobs a lot easier. Terry's being the ball handler, Mon being the defender, even the bigs being rebounders and stuff like that. So, you know, it's evident, you know, some of the stuff doesn't always show up on the stat sheet, but Marcus definitely changed the game when he gets in.
Jaylen, we talk so much about Giannis, but Chris Middleton has made a lot of tough shots in this series. What differently can you guys do with him?
He's a killer. He's made some extremely tough shots, and he's comfortable making them. So we kind of made it a little bit uncomfortable for him, and he worked for the baskets he got, and we got to continue to make it more comfortable for him. He started pulling tricks out the bag, up fakes and stuff like that, stuff we haven't seen from him in the first three or so games, and he's continuing to show like his hand. So he's a really good player. He's a straight killer, and he's experienced. He can really shoot the ball and make tough shots, but we got to really make it hard for him and keep making him uncomfortable. Hopefully we can wear him down.
You mentioned playing off the energy in the building. Is there anything beyond that you feel that made you guys just a different team at home and on the road?
I think we're the same team. I think it's hard to necessarily explain, you know, the difference in the impact of a road game and a home game. You know, just the comfortability-wise, you know, you walking into somebody else's house and trying to feel comfortable. It's just a little bit different. But as a unit, you know, good basketball teams are good basketball teams, whether you're playing in TD Garden or you're playing in Alaska. So we got to come out and do what we're supposed to do, execute the game plan. And we didn't do a good job of owning our own space, but we've been owning our own space all year. So now it's just a matter of doing it. Now we have to do it, or we're going to be home. We're going to go home. So now it's our backs against the wall. We got to come out swinging.
All right.
Thank you very much, Jaylen.
Thank you.
I don't want to go to Alaska.